DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. We're brought to you in part by Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together. We'll continue with the exit interviews. Barrett Hayton here in a moment. But, PK, there's a college basketball recruiting/transfer story that caught your eye because it's hilarious.
Well, this is transfer season now, and the Utes need players, right? Everybody needs players, and the Utes especially need players. And they got the transfer guard from Syracuse, Elijah Choppa Moore. And Joe Tipton, I'm not sure who Joe Tipton is, but he said that he is committed. I guess he tells On3 Sports.
Okay.
Joe Tipton works for On3 Sports. The 6'4 freshman and former four-star recruit scored 24 points earlier this season against Tennessee, one of the top defensive teams in the country, my good man.
All right, 24 points against Tennessee. Noted.
That caught my eye. Impressive pickup for Coach Alex Jensen and the Utes. And then Ryan McDonald, who works for the Deseret News, made me laugh. So, tip of the hat for Ryan. I enjoy laughing. Why are we pointing out one game? LOL. Moore went scoreless in 11 games that he played in, averaged 5.2 points, 1.5 rebounds, and an assist per game last season. That's not as impressive.
No, it's not. Those are also facts that I want to know. So I'm glad to. Who is Joe, the original, right?
Joe Tipton from On3 Sports and Ryan McDonald works for the Deseret News.
And Ryan rounds it out with some more info. I want to know all of this. I'm all about it. How'd the public react to that?
Oh, of course, some Ute fans get upset. I probably would be too. Let's see. One of the comments, I know a hater's voice when I see it or when I hear it. And then Q football fan at Q Football 37. Number 1, he was a true freshman last year. Number 2, his best game was against one of the best defenses. Number 3, you're obviously saying something stupid to get clicks, so I guess congrats, you did it.
Nobody's getting paid for Twitter clicks, okay?
Good point. Well, some people do, I guess, but I don't think Ryan is.
No, the people at our level don't. You're right. The celebrities with their 20 million followers, yes, those influencers are making money. But those of us who have 10, 20, 30,000, yeah, we're not making money off that. It's not happening.
CBF Talk 15188 says, wow, great observation. And look who his picture is of.
Max Hall.
And unfortunately for Max, it would be the mugshot of Max Hall.
I think that you just don't know. Kids are transferring.
I know.
You grow up a year. We're talking about Cody, Cody Williams with the Jazz. How much weight is he going to put on? How much bigger and stronger are you going to get? These freshmen transferring is the same questions for these guys. And they're going to be in a different system. They're going to have different teammates. I mean, there's no telling how this is going to go. Up, down, sideways. You don't know.
Right. I mean, you got to get a good foundation. I think if you give Alex Jensen time, he'll be just fine. I believe in the guy. I've known him for 30 years. It's crazy to think that I covered him as a beat writer when he was a freshman 30 years ago. My gosh. But that's where we're at. But, yeah, you need players, and guys come and go, and who knows. That's just the world in which we live in with this constant transfer stuff in basketball, and maybe this kid turns out to be a player for Utah. I mean, Jimmer Fredette didn't exactly light it up his freshman year, but I think he did pretty good his senior year.
From what I've heard.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
So, who's to say?
DJ and PK, it's exit interview time for the Utah Hockey Club. The interviews continue. Barrett Hayton, career high in goals and points this year. Here's Barrett Hayton, 24-year-old, with the media.
How would you assess your individual season this year?
Yeah, I thought it was a year of growth for me. Obviously coming off a tough year last year with injuries. Thought I learned a lot through that and throughout the season, and yeah, proud of the steps I've made.
What do you focus on this summer to make sure you can build this year?
I mean, a lot of stuff. I think that's kind of the one thing right now. You have so many things in your mind that you have so much to get better at. For myself personally, it's a lot of specific things that I'm not going to get into, but I think just a lot of work and a lot of kind of fine-tuning of some areas of my game that I've been working on, and felt throughout this year that there's space that kind of improving there will really take my game to the next level. So yeah, I guess a lame answer there, but that's the truth.
I guess a saying I've heard a lot is that coaches begin a rebuild, but not a lot end the rebuild or get to actually experience the growth of that. What makes Andre good and that he should, finish off this thing for you guys?
Well, I think it's all about the standard he's building and we're building with this team. We have a lot of pride in this room. I think we can be proud of kind of the way we grew our standard and culture and everything this year. I think you look at our team at the start of the year versus the way we finished, and obviously you can look at it statistically, and obviously we had a good record down the stretch or whatever you want to call it, but I think it's a lot bigger than that. We learned how to win games. We learned how to play those top teams and compete every night, and I think we're a night and day different team, and Andre, our coaching staff and management are a huge part of that. It starts with them, and then we as a team have to take ownership of it. And there's a saying about the culture when the team's able to take ownership of it. That's when you really become successful. And I think through these last however many years now, we've been building that, and Andre's a huge part of that.
My count, you were one of the 10 guys to experience new career highs this season. What was it about this year that so many guys are able to take their game to a new level?
I think it's that, right? When you take that step as a team, ultimately a lot of time guys are sacrificing stuff, and with that, and you saw that this year, guys find success, and career highs or whatever it may be is a nice byproduct of that. And but I think it all starts kind of with everyone buying in and having that team success, and individually guys do as well.
Is there a different feeling in the room after the season just because you guys were kind of in it, and how does that motivate you for next year?
Yeah, I mean, it stings. It's frustrating. That was a huge goal of ours, something each guy wanted so badly. So, yeah, I think it stings, and there's hunger as well. Watching teams clinch playoff spots. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it pisses you off, and sucks that we're not in that position. But I mean, all we can do is take that into the summer and grow, and everyone's going to get better this summer, and we're going to come back and take a big step.
Is there anything about Utah that surprised you?
Everything, I guess. I didn't really know a lot about Utah coming in. I think really from our first experience coming last spring, it's just been unbelievable. I think obviously it's a beautiful place with the mountains and everything, but I think it's the people that make it special. We felt that from that first visit, the passion and pride in the community. And yeah, I mean, the arena's been unbelievable all year, the feel in the community. Yeah, I mean, it's been special.
Are you excited to have a permanent name?
I mean, am I excited to have a permanent name? Yeah, I think it's exciting for the fan base to have that. Obviously, we don't know what it is yet and whatnot, but once that all gets dialed in, yeah, for sure.
What does your off season look like? Are you going to spend some time here, go back home? Or?
I'm still trying to kind of figure out exactly what my plan is going to be. I spend most of my off season back home. It's nice to kind of get away, spend time with family and friends and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I've built a great setup back home for my training, and I've dialed a lot of that in. So I'll spend my majority of the summer there, but I don't know my exact plans right now.
There you go. That's Barrett Hayton, who was drafted 5th overall in 2018 by the Arizona Coyotes. So they've had some players that moved around a little bit, but not Hayton. He has come here, and he has established himself. 10 players. One of the question was that you just heard. I don't know who asked the question. I'd give him credit, but I don't know. 10 players, career highs. That's something that is extremely promising, I believe, as far as the future goes. You look at Barrett Hayton now. He played in all 82 games. He had 20 goals, 20 assists, or 26 assists, 20 goals, 26 assists. So that adds up to 46 points that he contributed to the team. And I love that he said about the playoff. It pisses me off. It sucks. Yeah, those are strong words, and those are good words, I think. Harsh words, but those are words you want to hear. Why do you want to hear them? Because you want it to get under their skin a little bit and make them mad that they came up a little bit short. Now, they made progression, if you look from last season to this season, as they have for several seasons. But the fact that they came up short, you want it to gnaw on it a little bit, don't you? I think it does. I mean, you want to be accepting losing here. And, you look at the other team that plays in this arena, and obviously they're in a different phase of redevelopment, but losing is what they want and what they needed as far as getting a draft choice. Well, losing isn't what this team wants, speaking of the hockey team, obviously, and wanting them to get to the postseason. You don't want to okay, the season's over now. They talked about what everyone's asking, what are these guys going to do in the summer? So we've had on a few players. One is Busted's going back to Minnesota. Stenlund then was going to go back to Sweden, Stockholm. And Hayton is from Ontario, Canada, I believe he is. I can double-check that, but I think that's where he's from. And he's going to go home, spend some time with a family, and that's all understandable. We would all do the same thing. Yep, Ontario. Peterborough, I don't know. I've never been to Canada. You been to Canada, Young?
I have briefly crossed the border, but yeah, I wouldn't say I've spent extensive time there.
Briefly crossed the border and they realize you're an American and they threw you out?
Yeah, pretty much. We ventured in for just a little bit. We were up kind of in the Vancouver area, but yeah, I am not an expert, but Peterborough, it's over in Ontario, which is in the eastern side of the country.
I've literally never been. I've been in Mexico many times, obviously growing up in Arizona, and then Southern California there where I lived for a decade, so... and then the Jazz. We went 4 times to Cancun, the Jazz Beach Bash. That was fun, going in the All-Star break in February each time. That was enjoyable. I've never been to Canada, so I don't know where that is. But he's going to go home. But the point I'm making here is none of these guys want to go home now. They want to keep playing. And so you'd think, maybe some people say, well, geez, man, we're done. Now I get all this free time for the next, rest of April and May and June and July and all that. No, they got enough free time off. They want to be in the postseason, so that is something that I can appreciate. And that's what I want. If I'm a fan of the team, I want these guys to be irritated that they're not going to the postseason. Not rather, now I got 4 or 5 months to play. No, I'll do whatever I want. It pisses me off and it sucks, was Hayton's comment, and he's one of the core guys. The restricted free agent. They signed a 2-year deal last summer with Utah. Armstrong wanted him back, so restricted free agent and a 2-year deal, and so this is 1 year, and he's got next year here. And I would assume, I don't know this obviously, but I would assume that he would be here for the long term, or at least in terms of long term from the sports terms. Long term was what, maybe 4 or 5 years. I mean, in life it's not long term, but in terms of sports it is. So it's good to have him. He does not turn 25 until June, so he's part of the young core. It's exciting time, and they're talking about this. There's a lot of momentum that this team has, and they're going to need to build on it, though. That's the thing about it. They can talk about the excitement that they've had, and they have a level of excitement, but now you got to build on it. I think I saw Cole Bagley, our hockey insider for KSLSports.com. I think he said, good season, but next season playoffs or bust. Is that a fair level, a standard to set? I believe it is. All right, now we're going to go to Sean Durzi, one of the defensemen for the hockey club.
Good morning.
Talk about a year with injury coming back midway through. Just how do you assess it, and what do you want to build on for next year?
Yeah, it's so disappointing as a player. You work so hard in the off season. You give everything you have to be prepared, and there was almost a little bit of extra motivation, obviously, coming to Utah and being so excited about such a big year and how we can write our own history and all that. And 4 games into the year, it kind of just goes away. So it was a tough time, battle, obviously, just get through it, find peace with it, know that it's nothing I could have done, and to know that my season could have been over, that it sucked, but thinking now big picture, just happy that I kind of found a way to get back this year and find my game, be out there with the guys, be in front of the fans, be in front of you guys, and play hockey again. So it was battle mentally, physically. I thought the team gave me everything I needed to kind of get through it, and couldn't be more grateful from top to bottom. Everybody kind of helped on the way, and just happy to kind of be out there, play my game again, and find a groove with the guys.
What did you learn about yourself during that stretch now that you're on the other side of it?
Yeah, I probably dug into my emotions a little more than I thought I wanted to, but it just I really do care so much. I realize it's not an act. I love this game. I love my teammates. I love playing for a passionate state here and fan base, and I think I learned that I'm dedicated to getting back and kind of putting the work in. There's so many days where it kind of feels repetitive, and you got to wake up, you got to put your head down, and you got to just keep doing the work. And then there's times where it feels like nothing's happening, and then you turn the corner and you're better. So and then obviously coming back to hockey, you want to come back, you got to find a way to mesh again with the guys. You miss 50 games, the team's different from when you got there. So finding a way to bring my kind of energy, mesh well, and I was very happy with that. Obviously the guys we're all a really close-knit group, so it was easy for me, but meshing well and then finding my game within that, where it's going to be in the lineup, and just kind of getting back into the groove. So I learned a lot. A big growing year for myself, obviously, not only as a player, but kind of as a leader as well. How I can drive energy within the group, and how I managed all that with the injury. So it was a big year.
How close you guys were, is it hard to not look back and be like, what if?
Yeah. Johnny's another good player who missing. We had a lot of bad injuries throughout the year, and what if, obviously, you want to be an impact, and at the same time, our game is just so much more than, a couple players. So, we think about it. You don't want to. You see the growth as a team, when we're healthy, and how well we can play, and that part of it's encouraging. But at the same time, it's in the past now, and what if is a great question, but at the same time, it's over and done with, and the group as a whole is way more important than a couple guys missing. So I think just the growth from the team all year has been big.
Did you like the way that you performed once you came back and finished out the season?
Yeah, I was happy with it. I wasn't sure how I was going to perform. Obviously, coming back from an injury that probably could have shut me down for the year, and finding a game coming back from an injury, a big injury like that, it's tough because you don't want to think about the injury. You want to play hockey, and I thought I did a good job of that. I didn't really let that faze me. But at the same time, when you're holding high standards as a hockey club, you want to hold yourself to always. You're never satisfied, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm not coming back and say, oh, it was perfect, and I played amazing. There's a million different ways or things I could have done differently, or different ways I could have played better, and that's the beauty of it is, you're never good enough. I think the best player in the world still wants to get better. Train with him every summer, and Connor McDavid is working every day to be a better player. So every single guy in our game is so competitive like that. No matter what the circumstance, no matter how you're playing, you always think there's room for improvement, and that's kind of the beauty of it.
What was it like making this playoff push with these guys, and do you think you have the group that can take that next step?
Yeah, I think if you look at kind of just where we were at from a success standpoint when we were healthy, it's a pretty good group. We match up against any team in the league pretty well. At the end of the day, it's the NHL. There's obviously those stinkers that are in the past, but night in, night out, we had the belief that we could beat any single club in the league, and I think we showed that. So having the push and being in those tight games down the stretch, I know we didn't get the job done, but at the same time, like, that learning experience is so important for every single guy in the room. We're in that situation. We know what it's like to be in those high-pressure moments, and we all wanted to win more than, you could even think about. But at the same time, you got to sit back now, and we're all sitting here and thinking, okay, where's the growth? How did we grow from that? How do we learn from that, and how can we be better? So proud of a lot of guys. I think in a sense where, you're pushing all year and things get tight, it can be hard, and a lot of guys aren't healthy in there when they're still stepping on the ice. But that growth standpoint is really where you get from it, how you learn from it, how you grow from it.
Speaking of that growth, seems like Kesselring and Bada and a couple of those other guys really stepped up while yourself and John were out. What can you say about their play and their progression that from those guys that kind of stepped up?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. They did a great job, obviously, but at the same time, it's me and John we're not going to change that much. It's such a team game that I think any single guy can be ready. It's the NHL. Every single player is a good player, but any guy's got to be ready to step up at any moment, and they did a great job. Obviously, Ole found himself in a good situation here, where it wasn't great for him somewhere else, and he came in, he found his confidence and stepped up. Kess the same way. Kess is a great player on a good team. So those guys did a great job, and obviously they're going to be big parts going forward.
Are you looking forward to having a permanent team name?
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with whatever as long as we win. It'll be nice, obviously. I don't know where they're at that point. I think everybody's got so distracted with the push down the stretch here that you almost lose sight of all that stuff. But I guess now that we're sitting here, we could talk about it. Yeah, it'll be fun. It's a fun off season. New facilities coming in, and not only our growth from an organizational standpoint, but the fan base as well. The more excitement for next year and kind of where the team's going to be at, and we know we have a great team. We know we can do special things, and the guys in that room know that too. So it's fun to see for you guys, for us, for the fan base, the growth from everything, from team name to players to facilities and all that stuff. So it's exciting.
What surprised you most about Utah, and how did your neighbors welcome you?
Yeah, I bought a house here, and my neighborhood was pretty welcoming right away. I was getting gifts, dinners, all that stuff brought to the door, and just can't believe how nice the people have been here. Unbelievably kind people, and as a guy and as players on the team, you want to make it at home as quick as you can, and the community only helped us do that. So it was a very nice surprise.
Someone said that this is a place where free agents are going to want to come play. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. When you're talking about a destination spot, you look at where the organization's at, team. You look at so many different factors, and one thing that I don't think you're gonna have to worry about is how well the organization has handled things and treats us. And then you look at the group and the direction we're heading in. It's got to be a destination. I can't say enough good things about from top to bottom what this organization has done for myself and for the guys. And when you have that backing you, and you can focus on what you're doing on the ice, there's no other distractions. It's so important. It's all you could ask for as a player, and I think he's got a great point, and it'll be a destination for sure.
Thanks, Durzi.
That was Sean Durzi. Wow, man, the love affair is continuing with the hockey players and the organization, as some people to the north call it, and with the city, with the community. Bought a house already. He had an up-and-down season largely because of injury. Missed a good chunk of the season. Tried to come back, and so hopefully he can be healthy and be able to be in the lineup right from the start. I think that will help the team immensely. All right, we got to take a break. We are having what we call hockey morning in Utah, as we have players coming to the podium, and then they're coming over to us, DJ and PK, and I think are we going to have that's going to continue, right? Jake and Ben, they're going to be here.
Yes, they will. We'll have shows there all the way through the end of the interviews.
Yeah, so stay with us as we emphasize and focus on the hockey team as they basically wrap up their season with the players. Management and coach will speak at a later date. We'll get some more players coming up next right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, bro.
You hear us every day with our crazy opinions.
Hey, what you doing?
Well, now it's time to hear from you.
Hey, great show.
Download the KSL Sports app and fire off your thoughts with the call-in tab on the bottom of your screen.
This show is fantastic. It's the one that captivates me the most.
You can tell PK to stop singing.
Cheap bangs! Cheap bangs!
Let Jake and Ben know what you really think of the Jazz. Woo! Tell Hans and Scotty about your favorite barbecue spot or what color of tie JJ should be wearing on TV. The best entries will be played on the air. Download the KSL Sports app now and hit the call-in button to let your voice be heard.
I think you guys do an incredible job.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
9 o'clock hour Slacker radio headlines are brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. The phone number for Trajan Wealth, 801-899-7600. That's 801-899-7600. Or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. Hockey Morning in Utah will continue as we are broadcasting from the Delta Center, just right next to the atrium and the main entrance there. And they're bringing by players. Players are speaking downstairs at the podium as they get ready to basically put a wrap on the season, look forward to the future, and then go about their business over the summer. Yeah. And Armstrong and Torney, the GM and the coach, they will speak to us at a later date that has not been determined right now. So we will look forward to that when that time comes. And for now, we've got hockey morning. We're used to hockey day, hockey night in Utah. It's really cool to listen to these guys talk. Listen to their love affair that they're having with the community, with the ownership, and then listen to their, what would be the right word? Their, I don't know, let's see. Their anger, I guess maybe is an appropriate word, at not making the postseason. And that's really cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate their anger in not making the postseason. If you're wondering where DJ is, he was with us earlier. He took off, man, meeting with the Miller family as to why they're getting back into the sports. There's going to be a press conference, I think, tomorrow at 10:30, and they tell us about them taking ownership to the specific degree as far as the RSL soccer team. We had Pablo Mastrioni on at 8 o'clock this morning in the 8 o'clock hour, and I asked him, does it matter, the ownership, when you're the coach and you're eyeball deep in the season and trying to get this thing going in the right direction? And he admitted that it really doesn't, but they had the opportunity to meet the Miller family yesterday, and he's excited about what they can bring in their track record of many, many years, literally decades of success with the Jazz. I don't think anybody could argue that whatsoever as far as that goes. And then also, too, the Millers are in a strong push to bring Major League Baseball to the community. Yeah, that gets me excited. That's where my heart is, for sure. And so they're having a meeting with select folks. DJ, of course, one of the more popular, if not the most popular guy in media. Wouldn't you say, Yak? Is there anybody more popular than good old DJ?
There can't be. Come on now. We say it all the time. He's the fearless leader of this fine program, so why wouldn't he be there?
Yes. They didn't invite me. Heck no, not that bum.
You think I got an invite? If you didn't get an invite, I'm way down the totem pole.
So I like to think of you guys as my supporting cast, but I guess I'm just his supporting cast.
Hey, we've had people tell us in the past, the DJ's the guy riding shotgun next to the person in the car. You're the guy sitting behind them kicking the seat. I'm the dude over in the right corner just trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, there you go. That's the three of us. How long you been with us now? Over a decade?
11 years coming up next month.
11 years. Wow. With no end in sight. Now, I'm not going away anytime soon. At least if it was up to me. I don't know that I control that. But, yeah, I'm in for the long haul. Last week was our 23rd anniversary. How about that? So we will have another player next. Who is it, Yak? Liam O'Brien, Spicy Tuna. He'll join us next. Stay with us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And it's all over almost here.
Don't go nowhere.
Welcome back in 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We are at the Delta Center, what I am calling, Yak, hockey morning in Utah.
Should we just call it Hockey Day because it's going to extend into the early afternoon hours?
Yeah, but I want to emphasize the morning.
Okay, so Hockey morning in Utah.
That when it gets to afternoon, we can do that. But, hockey night and all that stuff, game night, game day, we don't emphasize the morning. And I'm like a bear. I'm like the bear. When I get off this show, I go home and I hibernate the rest of the day. And I don't come back out until the following
Let's be
morning.
real. You're going and hitting the bench at Vasa. Come on now.
I think today, I may wait a little bit because the Diamondbacks have a day game in Florida against the Miami Marlins. It starts at noon, which is 10 our time.
It's the free game of the day if you want to watch it, by the way, on the MLB app. I'm just saying.
Oh, I think it might be blacked out, I should say, here with all those stupid rules that they got. But I get it anyway. I have direct, and I get that. They've grandfathered me in the old Fox Sports Arizona, whatever it's called now. I don't even think anybody owns it. I think MLB may own it. I'm not sure. But I still get that on channel 686 on my direct TV. So that's what I'm going to do when I go home. I'll do bench later for all you people at Vasa. You can come over and watch me do bench probably around 2 o'clock or so. So
around 2 o'clock. Okay.
After the game, 10 o'clock it starts. So I'm going to race home in this miserable weather. I've got to run. Jake Scott just walked in, said it's raining like cats and dogs outside. And I am parked in the KSL parking lot. So I'm going to sprint, whatever that might be, a couple of 100 yards to make sure I do not get wet. So we are awaiting Spicy Tuna, Liam O'Brien. He was at the podium, and then that's downstairs, and then they're bringing guys up to be interviewed. You can hear all of this, and it will continue throughout the morning and into the day for as long as they've got players. Jake Scott and Ben Anderson will be taking the ball from me, or taking the puck from me, I guess you could say. And we'll be interviewing those guys. So you can hear at the podium, and then you can hear at the live radio. Jake Scott, here he is. Here's the man. The Tuna Man is coming over. He's probably about 10 yards away, and he's going to sit down and put on some headphones, and we will talk to him here in just about 5 seconds. There's the Tuna Man. Do we call him Mr. Spicy? I don't know. I don't know what we call him. I'm just going to call him Liam O'Brien. Liam, you're on KSL Sports Zone, where that is the home of the Utah Hockey Club. Good morning. How you feeling today?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I think it's, I think as players, we definitely want to be playing playoff hockey, but, I think our team took a step this year, and I think that's something we're proud of.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing. We've had players come through here and then at the podium and joining us live. And I've kind of summarized it in that there is a sense of satisfaction. You talk about taking the step. So 3 things I've noticed. There's a sense of satisfaction that the team has progressed. No one can argue that. You just look at the raw stats and you can say, okay, you've been better. You're better now than you were last year and so forth. So that's the one thing. The second thing is there's a love affair going on between you guys and the community. Would you say that's accurate?
Oh, 100%. I would say even the progression was even just within the year. I think from start to finish, I think just the way that we played towards the end of the year, I think we took a step even within the year. So, and then obviously with the fans, I mean, I think the community here has really embraced us, and we're enjoying our time.
And then the third thing I've noticed, so 3 things. This is the third thing, is that the guys, and I didn't know what word to use, but I'm settling on angry. They're angry. You guys, you're on the team, are angry that there is no postseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all. I think I encourage fans to watch postseason hockey because it's electric. I mean, when you get to be a part of that. I haven't been able to do it at the NHL level yet, but it's different, and it's emotional, and it's just passionate hockey, and it's So it's disappointing we don't get to be a part of that,
particularly when it's overtime hockey.
Yeah, because I mean, you could go forever,
right? Or it could end in a minute.
Or it could end in a minute. Yeah,
I mean, it's you can't look away.
Yeah,
because you
and
don't
it's not
know
3-on-3 anymore too. So it's
right.
I think that's what's cool about it is everybody's involved, and it's different.
Liam O'Brien joining us right here on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. We all remember when the team first got here, and your role and you hyping up the crowd and everything. And here we are now. The season's over. As you get older, time seems to go by fast. Did it the proverbial blink of an eye? Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, it blew by. This year blew by for sure. Yeah. But it was just such a wonderful experience. And to be a part of the first year for this franchise, history. It's I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for all the fans and the love.
I grew up in Phoenix, and my sister's hairdresser has just been in depression since you guys left. She knew. So my sister's hairdresser knew my job in the media, and so my sister would always be asking me, "What are you hearing? What are you hearing? What are you hearing?" And she said, because then she'd report back to the hairdresser. So there was some passionate fans down there. And we know that last game at the ASU arena. I went to ASU and all that stuff. So, but we're glad that you're here. And one of the things in listening to the guys at the podium, so there's a question, and they said 10 players on the team had career highs statistically. That's got to be a sign of, man, that their arrow is really pointing up for you guys.
Yeah, we got our young guys really, honestly, they've done a great job, and their development and the process and everything, they've all taken steps, and I think it's fun to see your teammates grow. It's fun to see guys hit milestones, like even Keller hitting 90 points this year. Like, right. I know that's big for him. He's a humble guy. He probably wouldn't say it, but it's impressive too, right? So it's
sure.
It's always great to see your teammates, do special things.
As I look at this team and watch the progression throughout the year, Bill Armstrong reminded me of what he said leading into the season. He said, some nights, man, you're going to think, gosh, this team is really good. We're going to win the cup. And then there's other nights you're going to be thinking, what's going on with these guys? And to an extent, you saw that this season. I brought it up with some other players. Before you beat the Kraken here recently, after they were eliminated, you were 0-2 against them, but yet you had some phenomenal victories against some really good teams, Winnipeg being the most recent here. Is it just a matter, from your perspective, as you go into next year and you need to take that next step, is it just a matter of consistency, or what is it?
Yeah, 100%. I think it really comes back to consistency and, the maturity of our game. I think, it's a grind of a season. It's 82 games, and I think throughout that course, you need to find ways to, stay consistent and stay dialed in, and you need to learn some lessons, and I felt we learned from a lot of the stuff that happened at the start of the year, and I like the way that we handled the adversity as well.
How about the idea of at the end of the season or towards the last, basically you could say the last couple of months, Liam, that you didn't make the playoff, but essentially these games had maybe some type of playoff ramifications. So it wasn't like last year where you're basically playing out the season and waiting to come up here and all that stuff. The games at the end of the season, even though they weren't technically playoff games, the playoff implications and ramifications add to the level of importance. How important was that in the progression of the team to be in those situations over many games that can help you next season?
Definitely. I think when you're playing those meaningful games, and we did for a long time, right? We were in that sort of, chasing that wild card spot for a while.
Yeah.
And those meaningful games add pressure.
Right.
And, I think playing under that pressure, it's great for our team, and I think we can learn a lot from that. And, yeah.
A couple of the guys, when they came in, they talked about in their communities, we've had a few guys. One guy lived downtown, one guy lived in the suburbs, bought a house. And then I think it was Busted was saying that, I think it was him saying that they got deluged with the community giving them stuff, cookies and treats and whatnot, and they had a welcoming party. He figured a handful of people, and there's like 70, 80 people. Your level of any of that experience?
Yeah. I mean, my community, I'm in Sandy, they were great to me. I mean, everybody was coming to the door and giving me cookies and gifts and everything, and everyone was just so welcoming. So, no, I don't know if they didn't throw me a party, but
you live in Sandy?
I do, yeah.
Well, okay, I live in Sandy's. Yeah. Next year, we are throwing a party for spicy tuna, Liam O'Brien. How about that?
Sure, let's do it. Let's do it.
What's your summer going to be like?
I think I got a lot that I want to improve upon, and things that I want to work on, and I'm gonna, go to work, but also, I've got a little girl, so spend some time with family and enjoy this time in her life.
I found a lot of hockey players play golf. Are you one of them?
I do play golf. I'm not a golf all the time guy, but I do play golf. I enjoy golf. When I can find the time, I try to get out.
If I were to ask you who's the best golfer on the team, who would you say? Keller
or Schmaltz? Yeah, they're both. They could go toe to toe. I mean, they're very. It just depends what day of the week it is. They could go back and forth all the time. They're really good golfers.
Yeah, I saw a thing with Keller had when he was living in Phoenix that looked like it was North Scottsdale, that he had a little pitching area in his backyard and all that stuff, and he must have had 50 or 100 balls were laying out there, which means he's practicing a lot.
Oh yeah. And anytime you go over there, you just go back there and you're chipping him onto his green. So yeah, he's got a good setup.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we appreciate your enthusiasm and integrating yourself in the community, and we really look forward to next season.
Thank you for having me.
All right. That's Liam O'Brien. Thank you, Liam. There you go. Okay. Coming up next, we've got Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. And we're after 10 o'clock, aren't we? Oh, we're right at 10 o'clock. Look at that, man. I got the time in my mind. I knew it was time to hand the baton to a couple of, well, I don't know. Jake Scott, you're not really an up-and-comer in this business anymore. Maybe Ben Anderson is, huh? Okay, he wasn't on mic, but he's sitting right next to me. Stay with us. We will continue to have player interviews as is Hockey Day in Utah right here on the KSL Sports Zone 97.5. Jake and Ben are coming up next.